प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम्.
Suppose mantra, we are doing japa, 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 but the mantra word means mananat trayate iti mantraha. That means that which liberates us through manana, through mentation, through emotional association. Suppose we have a mantra, that mantra has a meaning. And our focus has to be on that meaning. The mind must be associated with that meaning. Not only the mind's association with the meaning, we have to have an emotional association with the meaning. If it is namaha, while saying namaha, it is not only we should understand the prostration, our emotional humility should dawn in the emotional being. Namaha means we are showing some respect towards something great. That means it is a humility. So while saying namaha, humility must dawn in our emotional being. Then the mantra will have its effect, immediate effect, efficient effect. So, but we don't go into it. So that is why our japa is not producing the proper fruit, the right fruit, because we are not doing it properly. The tapas, japa is a great tapas. But it has to be done properly with the proper aim. अच्छा नहीं लग रहा सुनने में ना. डिप्रेस नहीं करना चाहते हैं किसी को, बट करेक्शन करना चाहिए. Or if I have done like this, doesn't matter. Now you change, do it in the proper manner. नमः शिवाय बोलते हैं. शिवा का अर्थ क्या है? शिवा है आत्मा, द अल्टीमेट ऑस्पिशियसनेस. आत्मा से बढ़कर और कोई प्योरिटी नहीं है. बिकॉज आत्मा देर इज नो भेदा. आत्मा इज यूनिवर्सल विदाउट एनी भेदा. अभेद दर्शनम ज्ञानम, दैट आत्मा इज नॉलेज. आत्मा इज द अल्टीमेट पराकाष्ठा ऑफ प्योरिटी. आत्मा इज द पराकाष्ठा ऑफ शुचिता, एंड दैट इज कॉल्ड शिवा. सो अनलेस इन आवर माइंड this dimension of the Shuchitva, purity, the uniformity, it dawns. And when it dawns, the mind has become the Atma. See, scientifically also, when this dawns in our mind and emotion, you have become the Atma. That is what you want by the mantra. So that has to become, that becoming that mantra has to become more and more wholesome. That is the tapas. In japa sadhana, by whatever we are doing the japa, by doing the japa, we have to become more and more the meaning of the mantra. When we completely get associated, unified with the mantra becomes live in us. Actually, the guru gives the mantra only then. Before that, if he gives it, it will not function. When the guru gets, that is the disciple, the seeker, gets completely unified with that mantra becomes a fire in him. It becomes a live element in him. Then he can initiate others also with that mantra. That is lighting the lamp from that fire. This is the secret of initiation. So we have to enhance that fire, light that fire more and more, till we get unified with that. So these three we will chant once more. Told you about the transcendental tapas also. Na? Jasya jnanamayam tapa, I have said just now. अच्छा, वो स्टोरी भी बता देते हैं. जानते हैं सब कोई, फिर भी जो नहीं जानते हैं बता देते हैं. उनको हम इंग्लिश में बोले हैं तो हम हिंदी में भी बोल सकते हैं, फैसिलिटी है. One asura was doing very intense tapas. ये हिंदी में नहीं पता है, इंग्लिश में है. अच्छा. एक असुरा वो शिव जी के लिए बहुत जोर से तपस्या कर रहे थे। शिव जी के लिए आप देखेंगे जितना स्टोरी है ना, सब शिव जी का तपस करते हैं। उनको भोलानाथ बोला जाता है ना, वो दे देते हैं, वरदान दे देते हैं। तो हाँ, आशुतोष, तो शिव जी प्रसन्न हो गए, उनके पास गए कि क्या चाहिए। वो बताया कि हमें ये वरदान आप दीजिए कि हम अपना हाथ जिनके मस्तक में डाले वो भस्म हो जाएगा। सी परस्य उत्साधनार्थम, दैट इज वाई रिमेंबर्ड दिस, परस्य उत्साधनार्थम, टू हार्म अदर्स। सो हिज तपस वाज टू harm others. I will become so powerful that I will burn off everything into bhasma. तो शिव जी उतना समझे नहीं, भोलानाथ है, ठीक है, मान लिए, वरदान दे दिया। तो वो तो तुरंत बोले कि आप तो वरदान दिया है, लेकिन हमें तो वो टेस्ट करना चाहिए, हम आपके सिर पर रख के देखते हैं वो काम होता है कि नहीं। तब शिव जी का मन में आ गया, अरे ये क्या किए हैं मंत्र। द मोमेंट ही कीप्स हिज हैंड ऑन शिव जीज हेड, ही विल गेट। सो शिव जी भागने लगे और वो पीछे वो हाथ ऐसा करके करके दौड़ने। तो ये कहानी जब लिखा जाता है ना, जो विष्णु भक्त है वो लिखेंगे विष्णु बड़ा है और शिव जी छोटा है। जब शिव भक्त लिखेंगे तब बोलेंगे विष्णु छोटा है और शिव जी बड़ा है। तो शिव जी भागते भागते विष्णु के धाम में पहुंच गए हैं। प्रभु रक्षा कीजिए, रक्षा कीजिए। क्या हुआ, हमारे पीछे ही आ रहा है, हम तो उसको वरदान दे दिए हैं, भस्म हो जाएगा, अभी तो वो हमारे ही ऊपर वो टेस्ट कर रहा है। वो कुछ नहीं, तुम इसके नीचे चले जाओ। विष्णु वॉज सिटिंग देयर द मोमेंट, विष्णु जी बैठे थे। आई एम सेइंग विष्णु जी वॉज बैठे थे, तो बैठे थे। तो वो आया उस तरफ से, ऐसा करके हाथ उठा के आ गए उनके द्वार पे। विष्णु जी तुरंत उनको बोले कि ठाकुर ठाकुर, आप ऐसा हाथ उठा के कहाँ जा रहे हैं, कहाँ जा रहे हैं? आपके सिर में क्या हुआ है, वो क्या गिरा है, कौवा ने कुछ कर दिया क्या? भस्म हो गया। वो देखने के लिए आपने, वो तो भस्म करने के लिए हाथ उठाया था, उसका तो असर होगा, जहाँ रखेंगे उस समय वो भस्म हो जाएगा। अपने सिर पर हाथ रख दिया पूरा तुरंत, तो इसीलिए उनका नाम भस्मासुर। In the story it's called Bhasmasura. So this is what parasyotsadanatham va. Shraddhaya paraya taptam,
श्रद्धया परया तप्तं
tapastatrividham naraiः
तपस्तत्त्रिविधं नरैः
अफलाकांक्षिभिर्युक्तैः
अफलाकाङ्क्षिभिर्युक्तैः
सात्विकं परिचक्षते
सात्विकं परिचक्षते
सत्कारमानपूजार्थं
सत्कारमानपूजार्थं
तपोदम्भेन चैव यत्
तपोदम्भेन चैव यत्
क्रियते तदिह प्रोक्तं
क्रियते तदिह प्रोक्तं
राजसं चलमध्रुवम्
राजसं चलमध्रुवम्
मूढग्राहेणात्मनो यत्
मूढग्राहेणात्मनो यत्
पीडया क्रियते तपः
पीडया क्रियते तपः
परस्योत्सादनार्थं वा
परस्योत्सादनार्थं वा
तत्तामसमुदाहृतम्
तत्तामसमुदाहृतम्.
Like that, in this chapter, before this and after this, they have discussed the Satvika, Rajasika and Tamasika Jajna, Satvika, Rajasika, Tamasika Dana also. As far as the Jajna is concerned, the first day I said that when they are discussing Satvika, Rajasika, Tamasika Jajna, it is not the Jajna of Sri Krishna as in Bhagavad Gita. It is the usual ritualistic Jajna they are talking about. But in Bhagavad Gita, Jajna, although that term is used where it is understood, the Sri Krishna's revolutionary interpretation is yajna means whatever work we do as an offering to the Vishwa Yajna, that whole universe is a yajna of the Vishwanatha, of the Lord. Is it not? The whole thing is going on, there is no desire at all. The plants are growing, the flowers are blossoming, the birds are going here, there, the earth is moving around the sun is running somewhere, the galaxies are dying, galaxies are getting born. The unimaginable activities are going on. There is no desire anywhere at all. So this is the Vishwa Yajna of the Lord of the universe. So whatever, as a small speck, a small puny human being, whatever work we do, that is also to be considered as a part in the Vishwa Yajna of the Lord, as an offering to that. That means we will not do out of any ichha, desire. Ishwararpitam nechaya kritam. Everything you should be able to match so that the meaning becomes wholesome. So, that yajna is the yajna of Sri Krishna. That is doing anything with the samatva buddhi, doing anything with the attitude of surrender, doing anything with the yajna bhavana, yajna orientation, all are actually same. It is all doing in the gunatita level. Guna guneshu vattante iti matva na sajjate. He does it without kartritva and bhoktritva. Not with any bhogacha, not with any ego also that I am doing, I am not doing, etc. So those are all the other yajna, and as well as dana also are defined in the 17th chapter. I will not go into the detail of it. Now let us get back to the 18th chapter. In the 5th verse he says, this is Krishna's view and confirmed view. Nishchayam shrunume tatra. He said, yajnadana tapah karma na tyajyam karyameva tat. Yajno danam tapaschaiva pavanani manishinam. Even for the wise people, manish is also this yajna, dana and tapas, as we have explained over the last few days and understood. It is always pavanani. It will purify us. So if we avoid doing all these actions, then we will lose the opportunity to purify ourselves. So we will lose the fitness to knowledge. We have to deserve the knowledge. For that, purification is necessary. So all the actions have to be converted in this manner to attain purity, so that we become a proper receptacle of knowledge. एतान्यपि तु कर्माणि संगं त्यक्त्वा फलानि च कर्तव्यानीति मे पार्थ निश्चितं मतमुत्तमम्. He says that it is my confirmed view, nishchitam matam uttamam. What is that? Etani api tu karmani phalam tyaktva sangam cha phalani tyaktva katyavyaani. These karmas also, what are the karmas? These three, jajja, dana, tapas. These also have to be done renouncing the sangha and phala. The phala means not the objective phala, which we cannot renounce. Phala means the inner orientation, gainful orientation, gaining something, the selfish gain or happiness or whatever. So these two have to be removed. Sangha means it is actually the identity with that. That means the ego part. That means I have done this, I have done that, I have to do this, I have to do that. That is the sangha. Sangha I explained in the other way also that day. Dhyayato vishayan pumsaha sangasteshu upajayate. Not by the vishayadhyana actually. If we think of the object, there is nothing wrong. When we think of the object with the bhogecha, that I will enjoy something, then the sangha comes. So that sangha has to be eliminated, and naturally with that the phala also, it comes automatically there, has to be rejected. So we were discussing in detail Yajna, Dana, Tapak, Karma. What is Yajna, what is Dana, what is Tapaha, and how they are essential for the purification of the mind. So generally we consider any secular action to be a hindrance to our spiritual path, because all report that I am not getting time, Swamiji, office जाना है, घर में ये है वो है बहुत कुछ. That means throughout the day because we are involved in secular activity, we feel that we are not able to do sadhana because we are not able to spend maybe 1 hour in the morning and 1 hour in the evening or whatever. But it is not a right understanding. The sadhana should be every moment. So our interactive life has to be converted into a wholesome sadhana. And that is the way they have shown, that convert all your activities as yajna. Dana and dana, it may be a specific activity, but yajna and tapaha can be all-time activity. Tapas means austerity, some restraint on us, something which our lower tendencies want to do, not to allow that, and always keep ourselves in an elevated position. And yajna is always doing everything as an offering to the yajna of the universal Lord. That whole nature is moving without any desire. Like that, we also go on doing whatever is to be done, and whatever we are capable of doing, depending on the quality of our being, we do the job. Now that in practice this becomes possible when we renounce the sangha and phala. But phala does not mean the objective result. It means with the objective result we connect two things, kartritva and bhoktritva. With the objective result we connect what? Ego. That I have done this, I have do this, what will happen to me? I will be happy, I will be sorry, I will fail, etc. And phala also is coming together with that whatever the result, by that will I gain enough or will I not be able to gain, will I lose? That is the phala part of it. If these two are renounced, then our focus will be entirely on the work and its result. That has to be there, otherwise nothing can be performed properly. So this is what we were studying. In the 5th verse we did Yajna tapah karma
कर्म
natyajyam karyameva tat
नत्याज्यं कार्यमेव तत्
yajno danam tapaschaiva
यज्ञो दानं तपश्चैव
pavanani manishinam
पावनानि मनीषिणाम्
etanyapi tu karmani
एतान्यपि तु कर्माणि
sangam tyaktva phalani cha
सङ्गं त्यक्त्वा फलानि च
कर्तव्यानीति मे पार्थ
कर्तव्यानीति मे पार्थ
निश्चितं matamuttamam.
निश्चितं मतमुत्तमम्.
So how emphatically he is saying, in the 4th verse starting he said Nishchayam shunu me tatra, this is my confirmed view. Here again he is saying Nishchitam matamuttam, this is my best and confirmed view. What is that? That yajna, dana and tapas should be performed for the purification, expansion and disciplining the mind, make it harmonious. And it has to be done etani api tu karmani. These karmas also, yajna, dana, tapas also, etani api tu karmani sangam tyaktva phalani cha. Sangam cha phalani tyaktva kartavyani. These works also have to be done, renouncing the sangha and phala. So this is sort of a conclusion of whatever he has said in the earlier one. Verse. नियतस्य तु सन्न्यासः
नियतस्य तु सन्न्यासः
कर्मणो नोपपद्यते
कर्मणो नोपपद्यते
मोहात्तस्य परित्यागः
मोहात्तस्य परित्यागः
तामसः परिकीर्तितः
तामसः परिकीर्तितः.
So 7, 8 and 9 he is again saying which tyaga is sattvika tyaga, which tyaga is rajasika tyaga, and which tyaga is tamasika tyaga. This he said in the 4th verse, that tyago hi purushavyagra trividha samprakirtitah. Tyaga also is called of 3 kinds, sattvika, rajasika and tamasika. Now here each shloka he is defining. First is the what is called tamasika tyaga. Now in the books you will find in the translation niyata they have written as nitya karma. Nitya karma means there are 5 kinds of yaga, jajja and various other things to be done, most of it which we do not do now. So because Shankaracharya's interpretation is like that, everybody has followed that. But niyata doesn't mean nitya at all. Niyata means regulated, well regulated. Now those days the way Shankaracharya has interpreted it has meaning, because even nitya karma was according to the Vedic prescription. Whatever the Vedas said, it should be done like that. So Agnihotra etc. was also part of it. So there the nitya karma was also niyata, means it is regulated by the Shastras injunctions, Shastric injunctions. But now these karmas we are not doing, and niyata means regulated, well regulated. Not only that, Bhagavad Gita itself says 6.18 no? Yada viniyatam chittam atmanye bhavatisthate nisprihas sarvakamebhyo yukta ityuchyate tada. You repeat, huh? Yada viniyatam chittam
यदा विनियतं चित्तम्
atmanyevavatisthate
आत्मन्येवावतिष्ठते
nisprihah sarvakamebhyo
निःस्पृहः सर्वकामेभ्यो
yukta ityuchyate tada.
युक्त इत्युच्यते तदा.
So this will clarify you both the word niyata as well as the yukta. Yukta yesterday in the last lecture I had defined in quite detail. But this verse is the definition of the yukta. Yukta ityuchyate, iti uchyate tada. When the mind is like this, then the person is called yukta. Yesterday, last day we had explained that yukta means when it means connected, it means unified. When the small ego is unified with the real identity, truth. But, or we can say when our buddhi, our intelligence is anchored in the truth, so that we don't forget our real universal identity. And from there everything is done. So when the buddhi is anchored in truth, we call that buddhi as the viveka buddhi. It can start in a small manner by always looking into the real path and the auspicious path and deciding about it. That also we say viveka. But the real viveka is when it enhances to that extent that the buddhi will always take the decision from the soul, our real identity, our universal true identity. That means it will, in a simpler term, it will not be guided by the selfish desires, personal desires. It will not be guided by raga and dvesha, that preference and prejudice. When the intelligence is not guided by preference, prejudice, raga and dvesha, not guided by selfishness, desires, then automatically wherefrom it will take the decision. It will take an impersonal decision being anchored in the truth, in our real identity. So, normally what buddhi we have is Vishaya buddhi. That means we are always looking for what will be more gainful, what will not be gainful, etc. In the objective world, it is discriminating various things. But it's the same buddhi, when it gets anchored in the truth, it derives its input from the real identity, from the truth. So the decisions become not depending on our likes and dislikes, our bhoga and kartritva and bhoktritva, you can say, our ego and our enjoying tendencies. Bhoktritva means our bhogecha, our desire to enjoy the world. And kartritva means that I am doing, I have done this, done that, etc. So, here it is clearly mentioned that yada viniyatam, niyata I said because here it is clearly written viniyatam, niyatam, viniyatam. Viniyatam means vishesha rupena niyatam. That means very well niyata. That means very well regulated. Yada viniyatam chittam atmani eva avatisthate. That is, when we can fully discipline our mind, then it remains fixed in the Atma. Atmani eva, Atmani, Saptami Vibhakti. Atmani eva avatisthate. It remains seated in the self. Now, normally the mind will not be, as all of us experience, that the mind always goes to the objective situation, likes, dislikes, etc. But that same mind, by tutoring, by constantly tutored and disciplined by the Viveka Buddhi, when it gets fixed on the Atma, that immediately means Nispriha Sarva Kamebhya. When it gets fixed to the Atma, automatically he will not be interested in the kamas. Why? Because the soul is the source of all joy, everything. So once you get that joy of getting anchored in the impersonal soul, you will understand that the no world enjoyment is going to make you really joyous. You will not look for any enjoyment from the world. In Sadhana Chatushta, it is called Uparati. Rati means enjoyment, indulgence. Rati means taking the rasa from the world. Uparati means withdrawal from rati. Now this withdrawal from enjoying the world will take place simultaneously with Atmarati. When we start enjoying our anchorage in the self. So Uparati, actually we don't have to forcefully stop our enjoying the world. Enjoyment will remain in a very sublime nature. You will not look for it, but you will enjoy because you are loving everybody. You would like to think well of everybody, do good for everybody. So that kind of a mild enjoyment will be there, and not mild, but that is the harmless enjoyment which there is no selfishness, anything.